In terms of your first maintainer experience, you mentioned that you took over a project where the previous maintainer walked away. How hard was it to try and build a community around that project as much as you tried?
I mean, it was really difficult, and partly was my approach was to take another community's code and trying to bring it in, and that did actually help because you probably know of Slashdot, which was at the time a popular Perl-based forum, and there was a number of clones of Slashdot that came out, and some of them are still around. But one of the earliest ones was called PHP Slash, and I was able to modify PHP Slash in order to be able to create more functionality, and then was able to bring that into the tool that I was using by heavily hacking the code base and that was really quite interesting in terms of doing that. But mostly it was like borrowing from other communities and trying to find ways of hiring people who had the skills I needed internationally as contractors to be able to work on the code base. And I'm definitely in touch with some of those people that I initially brought on board, and it's been quite fascinating to sort of see how these some of these communities of open source developers have lasted for decades, and it's nice to have that type of friendship built around the engagement with working together through software, through multiple companies and multiple iterations and multiple, like, there's people who can work together collaboratively and who know how to do that and enjoy that, and it's nice to see when we're able to stay together and still continue to have some engagement over time.
I share a little bit of that experience with being involved in the OpenStack community, and OpenStack has celebrated its 15th anniversary already, so
that's great.
It's over a decade now. It's a decade and a half, and it really is something kind of magical to it, that you can work and collaborate with people from all around the globe and just keep going, and you have new faces showing up, and sometimes you see the old faces showing up in a different community, and your network is growing, and all the knowledge sharing and how much people help each other, like whether they are in the communities from personal experience or motivated by the company they are working for. When it comes to working on a common shared goal that the community has, that usually brings out this helping each other out mentality of people, and it's a very nice and inspiring environment, and I always learn a lot no matter which community I participate in, stumble on, listening in on some meetings or join a chat platform. There's so much you can learn from the other people. It's just amazing.
And there's so many amazingly bright people who I've been able to learn from, and who like knowing that these are people that are really leaders in the world in terms of how to build software, how to organize communities. Like it's been, I've really benefited a great deal from learning from people who have freely given their resources and their time and their inspirations to make these tools better. But it's interesting. Like I moved from the content management system that I was maintaining over to Drupal right around Drupal 4.5, which is 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. And I did that partly because there was, I believe that Drupal was a better software that I had developed, that I was running into problems with the code that I'd been building on, because I'd been building it for individual clients, and I didn't have an architecture that could scale all that well, and so I was running into all kinds of issues with that. But I really I was able to go and to move over to Drupal, but partly was the idea that I'd built a multilingual content management system very early on, and I was able to do English, Farsi, Arabic, Hebrew, and build sites around, bidirectional websites, multilingual bidirectional websites, which is really quite a niche area. And I understood that Drupal was going to be able to implement that and roll that out. And it was years until that happened, but it was there's definitely hopes and aspirations of that happening, but it didn't actually happen for several years. So it was definitely a bumpy migration, trying to go off and to bring our clients over from a system that did work and meet their needs to one that was like, well, it kind of works if you go like this, and here's some modules that will probably work for now, but there might be another one coming along later that will be better, and so. Yeah, the challenges of an evolving code base.